In 2024, users watched over 1 billion hours of YouTube videos per day, or about 48.7 minutes per user daily. Me, on the other hand, I spend at least 4 hours a day. But what if your YouTube content addiction is not actually an issue, but a hidden driving superpower, an unexpected life exploit? Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. This is my first time saying this in a video, and hopefully a lot more times in the future. My name is Generalist Lens, and this video has been 7 years in the making. Not like this specific video, otherwise it would have been the best video ever, but my first YouTube video and the start of my channel. 7 years of procrastination. So this time I thought I'd give it a try. I am what you call a content enthusiast. Basically, I just watch a lot of content. A lot. You saw the number. And I know what you're thinking. Well, that is a weird accent. I know. And more on that later. I can almost hear all of the questions swirling in your mind. Like, how did he manage to watch 100,000 videos? How does he even know he has watched that many? Is it even healthy? But perhaps the biggest question of all, why? What kind of an unexpected life exploit can you gain from watching YouTube videos? And how can even just watching YouTube videos be turned into a superpower? Well, buckle up. We have a story to tell that will hopefully transform how you view your YouTube habits. This is a story of turning pixels into power, of crafting a superpower from the comfort of your own couch, or desk, or toilet for that matter. I love to watch YouTube videos on the toilet. Have you ever had that moment when you realize you've spent an enormous amount of time on something and you are not sure if it was worth it? Well, imagine that feeling, but multiplied by 2 years. That is where my story begins. Since I was a kid, I was always in love with stories. Books, movies, cartoons, video games, you name it. Even playing outside with friends was always about characters and storylines. I remember when I was a kid, I would not let my mom or dad put me to bed without reading me a couple of bedtime stories. My journey with YouTube starts around 2008, 2009 when I was about 12 years old. Remember when YouTube looked like this? Feels like ancient history, doesn't it? Picture this, a not so wealthy country, a middle-class family in that country, and a kid with a computer that wheezed at the mere thought of running new games. Sounds familiar to anyone? Well, that was me. So I turned to YouTube, discovering gameplay videos. I couldn't play the games, but I could watch them. Little did I know, this was just the beginning. You see, YouTube has had a lot of eras in its history, and one of the most prominent was the vlog era of 2017. At that time, I was in university studying computer science and engineering, a degree that comes with a free subscription of mental breakdowns. CS students would know. During one of those lovely moments, a thought sparked. Why not start a YouTube channel? Those people make money, you love to tell stories, so why not try? And in these 7 years since then, that why not try whispered in my ear. I had a lot of ideas for videos, from animation videos to motivational ones to even rain ambient videos and everything in between. But I never acted on those ideas because they were stories that I was just not passionate enough to tell. Until one fateful evening when a seemingly random question popped in my mind. How many YouTube videos have I watched in total? I quickly googled how I can check that, and I downloaded my Google Takeout data eager to uncover the number. It only went 5 years back, but even in that limited window, revealed a staggering 70,000 videos. Curious about your own YouTube journey? I've put together a guide in the description on how you can fetch your data and even create your own Excel YouTube Hall of Fame, ranking the channels you've watched just like how I did. Trust me, The results might shock you. Now, 70,000 videos was just the tip of the iceberg. Estimating back to 2009 when my YouTube session began and adjusting for partial views, the number climbed to an eye-watering 100,000 videos. It might be more, but this is a rough estimate, no way to tell for 100% sure. But let that sink in for a moment. At least 100,000 videos watched. But wait, it gets even more mind-blowing. With the average YouTube video length at about 11.7 minutes, do you know how much time that adds up to? 812.5 days. And in the years, around 2.5 years. Almost 2.5 years of the last 15 of my life I've spent watching YouTube videos. When that number stared back at me from the screen, time seemed to stop. There was only one thing I wanted, one burning question that I had to know the answer to. Had I wasted years of my life, or had I gained something invaluable? And the stakes are pretty high. If I do not get a good answer, that means I have wasted a lot of time. And then it hit me. Maybe, just maybe this wasn't a waste. Perhaps this was the story that I was meant to tell all along. So here we are at the birth of this channel, embarking on an adventure to answer that simple yet profound question. Why so much? And more importantly, what if all those hours weren't wasted, but were actually preparing me for something extraordinary? And with each incoming video, we will get as close as possible to an answer to that question. But where do I start? I knew that I had to dig deep. Not just into the content of these videos, but into the very nature of knowledge and learning in the digital age. And as I delved deeper, I uncovered two crucial concepts that when you use them to view content through their lens, it might just change the way you think about your own YouTube habits. They certainly changed mine. Now, if someone asks me why I watch so much YouTube, I immediately think of this analogy. Imagine approaching Socrates, Plato, or Aristotle, or perhaps someone closer to our time, like Leonardo da Vinci or even Einstein. You say to them, look, here's a library with almost all of the knowledge in the world. Everything you want to learn about, know about, or see is right here. You can search for it, find it, and use it. You can have information summarized or in detail, however you like, and it's all in a format of moving pictures. Well, first they probably accuse you of witchcraft, but once you convince them otherwise, can you imagine their excitement? Their minds would be racing with the possibilities, the potential for learning and for discovery. And that's YouTube. It's that library of Alexandria. And I know it sounds cringy, especially since it is a platform that has brain rot videos. But if you avoid those kinds of ones, it's the truth. And here's where it gets really interesting, and when the first concept comes into play. In a world where we have access to all of this information, a new kind of thinker is emerging. Someone who can navigate this vast sea of knowledge and draw connections between seemingly unrelated ideas. This is where the concept of the generalist comes into play. In his groundbreaking book, Range, David Epstein puts it brilliantly. Sometimes the breadth of one's knowledge is what allows for innovation and creative problem solving. By drawing from diverse fields, generalists can bring fresh perspectives to the table. Think about it. In one YouTube session, you might jump from a video on how to learn like a genius, to another one on how to be more productive, to a Mr. Beast video, then continue with a little bit of a sprinkle of some sidemen, and then maybe finish on a video about quantum computing, or even end with a tutorial on making the perfect omelette. This isn't just aimless browsing, it's the formation of a unique, interconnected web of knowledge. Dan Coe, a YouTuber which I absolutely love to watch, in his thought-provoking video The Age of the Generalists, argues that we are living through the second renaissance. The internet gave the individual the power to learn almost anything fast and get results from diverse interests. When isn't that exactly what we do when we dive into the YouTube rabbit hole? Now, I know what you're thinking. It's easy to view educational videos through the lens of being a generalist. But what about entertainment videos? What kind of values and knowledge can you extract from them? And this brings us to our second crucial concept, viewing content through the transformative storytelling lens. And I know how storytelling and its importance have been used countless of times in videos, but nobody shows practically how it works in its transformative nature. And I'm going to try to do that here. Imagine our ancestors huddled around a flickering fire under a starlit sky. They're not just passing time, they're sharing vital information. One tells a tale of discovering a new berry patch, another recounts a harrowing encounter with a predator, while a third describes a strange phenomenon in the night sky. These aren't just stories, they're survival guides wrapped in narrative. Through those stories, humans have adapted and transformed and ultimately survived. Fast forward to today, we're still gathering around fires, but now they're mostly digital. And the stories we consume, whether in books, movies, TV shows or YouTube videos, are our very own modern-day survival guides wrapped in narrative. And all follow a timeless pattern. A pattern that's deeply ingrained in our psyche and has the power to transform us. At its core, every compelling story follows a simple pattern. A character faces a challenge, grows from the experience, and comes to a realization. The three-story arc that everyone talks about. But here's what many people miss, is the transformation points in the story that we learn from the most. Every character, like every person, has both a want and a need. The want is a conscious desire, something they actively seek. Think fame, wealth, or a specific achievement. The need, on the other hand, is a deeper, often subconscious desire that fulfills a core emotional or psychological requirement, like acceptance, love, or purpose. As the story unfolds, a call to adventure occurs. A moment or an event that disrupts the character's normal life and intensifies their want and need. This could be a challenge, an opportunity, or a crisis that forces the character out of their comfort zone and into action. In our case, every YouTube video is a call to adventure on its own. Throughout this journey, the character experiences multiple growth moments that shift their focus from what they want to what they truly need. These are the transformative points that we, as viewers, absorb like sponges. It's in these moments of struggle, decision, and change that we find the most profound lessons. After the conflict resolves, the character reaches a realization about their true needs, often discovering that what they needed was different from what they initially wanted. This is where the power of storytelling and viewing entertainment through a storytelling lens truly lies. As we witness these character arcs while watching YouTube videos, and especially the growth moments, we don't just observe, we learn, we grow, and we change. Now, think about the YouTube content you consume. Ryan Trahan's epic challenges, Yes Theory's daring adventures, the Sideman's chaotic antics, or even Tim the Tatman's gaming failures. These aren't just entertainment, although they are damn entertaining. They're our modern campfire stories, following the same powerful narrative structure that has captivated humans for millennia. When Ryan Trahan struggles through a seemingly impossible challenge, we're not just watching, we're learning about perseverance. As Yes Theory pushes boundaries, we're absorbing lessons about courage and personal growth. The Sideman's videos teach us about friendship dynamics and creativity under pressure. Even Tim the Tatman's gaming streams offer insights into resilience and the value of maintaining a positive attitude in the face of setbacks. A lot of setbacks. Those were some of my favorite creators, but you can view your favorite creators through the same lens and see that it applies to every good creator. Each video, each story presents characters facing conflicts, growing and coming to realizations. And as we watch, we're subconsciously applying these lessons to our own lives. This is the true power of storytelling, and is just as present in a well-crafted YouTube video as it is in a best-selling novel or a blockbuster movie. I have an ongoing love story with YouTube, and I know I have mentioned only a fraction of creators that I watch, And in future videos, I will dive deep in topics and creators as to why I watch them. But a simple, real-life example where viewing their content through the storytelling lens has helped me is I have noticed I became a lot of a better friend in my friendship group after watching the Sidemen and their friendship dynamics. I have felt a lot more connected to strangers that I meet at work or events after watching Yes-Theory Seeking Discomfort, and a lot more examples that I will save for future videos. In one of my favorite books, The Science of Storytelling, the author Will Storr reveals that stories shape our minds, our lives, our very reality. Every YouTube video, whether it's a vlog, a challenge, or a gaming video, tells a story. And with each story, we're not just being entertained, we are learning, growing, adapting, and thus shaping our minds, our lives, our very own reality. That is the power of viewing content through a storytelling lens. It transforms entertainment into education, passive watching into active learning. Suddenly, those hours spent on YouTube aren't just a guilty pleasure. They're a form of modern-day survival guide, preparing us for the challenges and opportunities of our complex world. I realized I hadn't wasted my time at all. I'd been unknowingly training myself to see the world in a profoundly interconnected way, gathering modern campfire stories that shape my understanding of the world and my place in it. So, fellow content enthusiast, the next time someone questions your YouTube habits, remember this: you're not just watching videos, you're expanding your worldview, cultivating adaptability, and honing your ability to see connections in our increasingly complex world. You're gathering around a digital campfire, absorbing stories that might just help you not only survive, but thrive in the modern world. Remember, in a world overflowing with information, the real superpower lies not in knowing everything, but in knowing how to learn from anything. And that's exactly what we're going to do here. And that brings us full circle to the burning question I had all those years back. I've realized that my need isn't justifying time spent watching, but leveraging this perspective for personal growth. That's why I've created this channel, to share how viewing content through generalist and storytelling lenses can transform your YouTube experience. My goal is for you to see content consumption as a powerful tool, a superpower available to all. It just requires intentional, curious viewing. In future videos, we'll explore various topics, unpacking lessons and connecting dots across disciplines. Whether it's tech, gaming, education, or entertainment, we'll extract value from it all. This channel is for curious minds and lifelong learners who see YouTube as king of content. If you're ready to unlock your content consumption's full potential, consider hitting subscribe. Join this journey where every video watched hopefully broadens your understanding and enriches your life.